Hey there, it's your brother from another mother, Evil Anarchy, and today I'm back with another video. Today I am still on vacation, so we're dealing with this weird setup. But I'm going to be reviewing some books I got from Anime Expo. I got a whole bunch. I got even more here, and we're just going to go through them. I've not really done like a manga review or like a light novel review. I don't really read many light novels to begin with, but we'll go through these. I've read all of these. I've had so much time to just chill and read, so let's just get through it. So starting off, let's start with the Viz manga sampler. This one was actually pretty nice. This year I liked some of the ones that were in here. They have Rai Rai Rai, Ruri Dragon, Yabai, Samurai Legend, Astro Royale, and then JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 7, Steel Ball Run. This is Rai 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 right here. This one was actually pretty interesting. I wish there was more of this one in there. Ruri Dragon is really good. Okay, so Rai 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 kind of feels like it might be a little bit lewd. I mean, this cover image is a lot more lewd than the actual first chapter was that's in here. So I don't really know. I kind of could see it going this way, but basically it's like alien takes over girl's arm, and that's the plot so far. And so in like even though this cover art is very sexualized, in the first chapter you can't even really tell it's a girl, to be honest. And then Ruri Dragon is this one up here. This one is like a coming of age story about a girl who's like half dragon. Super cute, really liked it. Up next we had Yaiba. I believe the anime for this is on Netflix already, so you could just watch that. The manga was interesting. The manga is a lot faster paced. I will say, like the manga, it just like the anime added so much more like depth to the story, and this makes a lot more sense because I know it's an older manga, so it makes a lot of sense that this is I mean, this is probably just in here to market the anime at this point because whatever. And then we had Astro Royale, which is about two yakuza teenager brothers, and then like something happens and this dude gets magical power by gripping a bullet or something like that. And then he saves his brother from some rubble. Spoilers. I didn't think it was that interesting. Typical shonen battle. I think he's gripping this thing on his chest. It looks like a bullet. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a vial. Kind of seems like a power leveling type of fantasy escapism show. And then there's the JoJo Steel Ball Run, which I'm gonna be honest. I'm not a big JoJo fan, but like of all the chapters they had to put into this, why did they put the one where like the dude's in the wheelchair? Like I know he's not like actually crippled, right? Like it's not a thing. I don't know. I just thought it was weird. It's a weird choice to put this one in there because I don't know if this is. I don't know. I don't really. I'll be honest. I've watched the first like 3 or 4 series of JoJo, and I've never. I'm not as far as Steel Ball Run, but I just don't think this is a very good. Maybe Steel Ball Run is the one getting the anime now. I don't know. I think that's the new one, right? I don't know. It's just weird. It's just a weird chapter. I mean, you've got like like all of these would do really really well, except for this one. This one I think is like I just don't get. I don't get why. Like, does he actually need it? I don't. I don't know. There's not enough info in this chapter to understand the context of why the character's in the wheelchair. But let's move on. We have Kamuto, which is from the artists behind the Legend of Zelda manga, and this is a free sampler. This was interesting. It's about a boy who's like half dragon. He's like a demi-dragon, and he's the only one that looks like human esque, but like everyone else, like yeah, he looks kind of like human, but like everyone else looks like a dragon, and there's like a dragon god, and he's trying to like he's young, and so, like the first chapter is kind of like oh I'm just a kid and doing my kid stuff, and I want to be strong, I want to be a strong dragon, and everyone makes fun of me because I'm not as dragon like as the other kids, and yeah, that's the plot. Art's good. I mean, the art's really good. If you like Legend of Zelda, you'll probably like this. It's very fantasy. It's very like earthy. Kind of reminds me a lot of like uh, I don't know, like Made in Abyss or like uh, what's that show? Nausicaa Valley of the Wind. It kind of has that vibe with like everything like plants and animals and stuff and magical, and I'm sure it's gonna stay that route. I mean, at least that's what it feels like in the first chapter. I don't know. It's interesting. A lot of human, non-human type characters. So if you're like into that kind of stuff, probably big for you. Moving along, we have dealing with the Mika Dono sisters is a breeze. This is one that I picked up at Anime Expo, and I put it in my first vlog. I was just like, "What is this pose?" what is this pose? Uh, this is actually getting an anime, from my understanding, and the anime looks interesting. The anime looks well done. The manga itself wasn't bad. I thought it was gonna be like some BL type of stuff. It's just the main character is like very feminine looking. Is that the main character or is that? Yeah, this is the main character. This is the main character. He's just got like a very effeminate like face, but he's like living with like three girls, and they're kind of like boyish girls, but they're like still pretty, and I don't know. It's weird. Um, they're like forced to live together because I think the main character's mom is like dead or sick or something, and then he's moving in with a friend of his mom. So like a friend of his mom is like, "Hey, I'll take care of you," and then he goes to move in with him. But then he gets there and it's just his three daughters and that's them. But he doesn't know that, so he goes to his first day of school thinking, "Oh, I'm just gonna be the new transfer." It's a weird. It's a very. They just straight jump you into the story. Like someone's already like challenged into a fight. And he's not really a fighter, but he's got like a sassy personality. So it's kind of uh, I think it's going to be a very flirty rom com harem. It's a harem. No way about it. It's a harem. There's three girls. Even though like it's an effeminate man, like it's very harem esque. Next up, we have Vermilion Mask. I think this. I don't know if this is getting an anime. I think it might be, but I think it's also getting a manga. This manga itself is like a one shot. It definitely is like a contained like arc. The way I describe it is kind of like V for Vendetta, but in like a magical society where masks give you power. That's how I would describe it. Um, that's probably the best way to go about it. Also, I believe these two mangas are produced by the same company because they're both on Imaki, which was like they had a manga truck. But like my big issue with this is why are they different sizes? They're different sizes for the print. This is very aggravating. I don't know why they would do this. And this going back, I don't know. This is also a Viz one, by the way. This Komodo. This is Viz. So we did Viz, and we got Imaki. Let's get the other Viz out of the way. This one, man, I don't know what to say about this one. This one's some tough one. This is the Minecraft, the manga. Uh, Honestly, only about half of it's Minecraft. The other half is there's actually I wouldn't even say half, like maybe like two-thirds of it is Minecraft, and then like the other one-third is Beyblade. And it seems like a very fitting thing to have Beyblade in here. I will say the Beyblade one looks a lot more like a manga, and the Minecraft one looks like Minecraft. They're just square people. I wouldn't even consider it a manga. It's more like a comic strip at this point. Um, and even the backgrounds, like they're just like screenshots of Minecraft, like pasteurized in Photoshop. So it's like it's very interesting. I don't know. I probably wouldn't read more of the Minecraft one. I mean, it's definitely for kids. The Beyblade one, though, Beyblade one looks amazing. Like, look at this. The quality is phenomenal. They really went out of their way for this. Truly, like, I'm assuming they got an actual Beyblade fan to work on the Beyblade manga. But the funniest thing in here for me is you've got a giant X-shaped building. I'm just like, man, is this Twitter headquarters now? Like, what's going on? The plots of them both, both coming of age stories, made for kids. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it more than that without giving spoilers. Let's see. Moving on, I got the Manga Plaza sampler, and there's actually two in here. We've got the lady's family whose kindness was repaid with betrayal takes revenge. Spoilers in this little book, she does not take revenge yet. Basically, it's just like her fiance comes to her, like she's on. I guess she, man. Oh, and then the other one in here is one helping of sweet love, Yoshizawa. So both of these rom com. Well, I shouldn't say rom coms. Okay, the first one is a typical like I've been betrayed. How could you? And it's like basically her fiance comes to her house after she's been out of the capital for 3 months, and he's like, I'm here to break off the engagement, even though we're supposed to get married next week. And then like it turns out her friend had seduced her fiance, and just a weird thing. And I don't really know how she intends to get her revenge so far yet. The chapter, these were long chapters, dude. These were much longer than almost like for a lot of the other samplers I got. And then one helping of sweet love. I guess the other Oshizawa was the author, maybe, I don't know. One Helping of Sweet Love is a rom com about an office lady who falls in love with like a chef at the izakaya. He's like serving her food and stuff. I mean, I get it. You know, a guy's chopping up meat in front of you every night, and he's tall and sexy. And I think her name's like Minnie or something like that. Kind of weird. That's it for most of all the mangas. Now we're gonna go on to the bulk of the light novels, though. Yeah, that was all the mangas. Now I got a bunch of light novels. I've got 6 here. These are all from jnovel Club. Shout out to them. Uh, and I think a lot of these, if they don't already have an anime, they're getting an anime, and I think that's why they were giving these out. So to start off with, I think the banished former hero lives as he please. I think this came out as an anime already, so I don't think I really need to go over this. If you guys have probably already seen this one. Uh, Manga, the not the manga, the novel here, it's okay. It wasn't bad. Um, Rebuild World 1. I think this is getting an anime as well. I looked up a trailer and it didn't look like this art, but this is also the girl and not the guy, and the guy is the main character. It seemed interesting. I liked this one a lot. Reading it, the main character is named Akira. He finds a girl who's like a ghost girl. I wouldn't say ghost. She's like an ethereal creature, and she's like training him to be a hunter in this like post-apocalyptic world, and these like future ruin. I should say like modern day ruins. It's like if downtown LA was like ruinified, and now people live like barbarians, and I shouldn't say completely like barbarians. It's just like post-apocalyptic hunters. So it was interesting. I liked it. It was a fun story, and good visualization with the script there. Um, and then we also have the Water Magician. I believe this one's getting an anime, and I'm gonna be honest. I read this one. This is probably the most boring read I've ever read, and this is getting an anime. I watched the trailer and the opening online for this, and I don't understand why the animation looks so good, and this book is so boring. Like this is probably the most boring. This is the most boring isekai I've ever read. Maybe it's because it's so boring that they can put their own spin on it with the animation company. But man, I was. This is like the most clean cut. Like no one did him wrong. He just sort of was like walking down across the street and got hit by a truck, and like he had a good business. He took over his father's business. You know, no one hated him. No one wanted revenge. No one backstabbed him. Then he gets respawned in this world, and God's like, "Oh, I'm going to give you magical powers," and it's like, "Oh, but you're getting water powers," and yeah, just weird. And but like he also isekais as like a full grown man in like a cabin in the woods, and I shouldn't say full grown man, maybe like teenager, I guess. I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird scenario. Sorry for the plane, guys. I can't control the airplanes. I'm outside. Um, but the animation for the trailer and the intro specifically looked phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. I will be watching this anime for sure. I probably would not read more chapters of this because it was so boring. Moving along, let's see. We've got Unlimited Gotcha level 9999. I've actually read the manga for this one already. The manga was pretty good. Basically, a human boy has like the power of unlimited gotcha. Doesn't really know what it does. Kind of gets junk from it every single time, and then his team betrays him. They start to like his team is full of like non-humans, so like elves, wolfman, lizard man, or dragon man, or something like that, and some others. And basically, like we're kicking you out of the party, and then they start to like human hunt him, and then he gets like shot in the leg with an arrow, and he's like running away, and then he activates a trap, and he goes to like floor 1000 of his dungeon or something, and he's about to be killed, and then he gets saved because of his unlimited gotcha, summons a servant, and then I believe all these are his servants, and he's just going to summon more and more servants who are going to be strong, and he's going to go out and get revenge on the people who betrayed him, because they're just backstabbed in a backwater dungeon. I don't think this has an anime. I think this might have an anime. I don't know. I don't remember. I'll be honest. I read the manga for this one, and it just was not. The manga was kind of slow to come out, but it's also just kind of cliche. I don't know. It's not really an isekai, but it does have a lot of the isekai ticks where it's like I'm gonna go get revenge for the people who betrayed me in this dungeon, and it's just like not an isekai. Not an isekai, but it has like a lot of those revenge stories aren't really my thing. I'm just not into it. Next we have New Game Plus. I do believe this is getting an anime as well. I couldn't find any visuals online for it. Um, it's about a boy who's like about to finish college, and then all of a sudden he gets like rewinds to when like a week before he was, no, maybe a month before he was about to start, maybe it was like a month or like 3 months. It was like before, right about before he was about to start high school, and so he's able to relive his high school experience. And basically, in the beginning, it's like, oh, I'm a loser. I was a loner in elementary school, and then I went to high school, and I was a loner in middle school, and then I was a loner in high school because I got fat, and there's a lot of fat shaming in this. Like he goes to work out, and like when he rewinds time, he works out, and he's like, yeah, but my pecs were thicker, my abs more defined, my arms and legs were firming up. It's just weird. Like, why are you describing that, bro? Like, I don't. I mean, I get that you have to say that, like, yeah, I'm in shape now, but like, it's also like weird. Because in the beginning, they don't really like say he was fat. Like, he just said he was depressed and like he was, and to be honest, his life before he like rewinded time wasn't going bad. He was like, oh, I'm gonna go have a normal job with a normal company. He had a job lined up. He was about to graduate college. Like I don't. There's this thing like I don't know what it is. A lot of people be like, oh, I want to go back to high school. It's like fucking why would you want to go back to high school? College was amazing for me, but also like I guess his college experience sucked. But he was going off to honestly, life changes so much once you're done out of school. I think college and high school and all that, it's all very institutionalization, and like it really brainwashes you into thinking like, oh, I have to do things on like a weekly scale. And then once you're out of that, it's like once you're out of school, it's so different. Like I don't the world is just so much bigger and better after all school. But yeah, this was interesting. I think I maybe read the manga for this as well. I think this is going to turn into a rom com. There's a girl at the end here that he's talking to of this sampler. These are samplers, by the way, so it's like the prologue and then like I think chapter one or maybe part of chapter one. It was cute. He started flirting with a girl who was his childhood friend that he fell out of touch with because he was fat. I don't think that's how that actually works, but man, talk about being a shallow bitch. If I rewound time and something like I'm not saying I was fat in high school or in college, but like if I rewound time and like got in shape and like all of a sudden the girl who was my friend like before that like and was ignoring me for like a year tried to become my friend again, I would like what the fuck? I'm not gonna talk to you. Like what? Get out of here. And then the last one we have is Atlas, her the combatant, and him the hero. I'm gonna be honest. This one was really hard to read. There's so many characters in this prologue, and it was so in the prologue all of these, the prologue is kind of like a different size, and then the chapter one is also a different size. The prologue in this one, like this, I shouldn't even say the prologue. The prologue in chapter one were so confusing. There's so many characters that it was just so hard to keep track of. Uh, like all these other ones, there's like a few. There's like one main character, and then like one girl at the end, and then some family members that are briefly mentioned. The water cat, like the water magician. It was like main character God and his like um his dad's his dad's business partner, who's now his business partner. So it's like three people in this. Unlimited Gotcha. There was a lot of people in this. Man, there was some issues I had with this one. So after the people betrayed him, um, the way they described the people that betrayed him, they started calling them fake, and it was one of the weirdest things I'd ever seen. Uh, Let me see if I can find the page. Yeah, the fake Nano, the fake Diablo, the fake Oboro. Like, I think this is just a translation thing. All of these J novel ones, like honestly, the translations are like interesting. Because honestly, these are all Japanese light novels, right? And they're getting translated in English. I didn't think they were bad, like plot wise, but these are definitely something that like would be geared towards like a younger person, maybe in like high school or in college. I don't think I would read these as an adult. These are not very adult orientated. This one was hard to read because there were so many characters, and they give you a bad visualization of like what's going on in the world and where they are. They're like fighting droids, and it kind of comes across as like Star Wars esque. But then there's so many characters because it's like Callie, Cass. I think there was a guy named Roy, and then like you get into the actual chapter, and then there's like the prologue is like after the main chapter because it's like a flash forward, and then you have the flashback to current time, and it was just really hard to keep track of. And yeah, um, but that was all of the books that I picked up at Anime Expo. I did get a lot here, so I've got the six J novel. Shout out to J novel. These aren't bad. These, if I was in high school, these would be something that I'd be into. I think like if like high schools should really get onto this and just start like assigning like these types of books to like read. Because like when I was in high school, they would make me read all these dumb things like that I had no care what's something I read I don't even remember like uh I don't even. It's been too long. But like this would have been something interesting to read in high school. I guarantee you, like high school should start picking up Japanese light novels for their assigned reading. Because I get that you want people to read like Plato or whatever, like the Odyssey, all these like great legends. But those are so boring. These are more relatable to like a high school student, and I think high schoolers would have a lot more fun reading these. Also, they're printed so nicely. Look at these. Like you could like I bet you this is less than $1 to print, and so it's like, oh, like these are so cheap, and like just one of these a week, and you could like it's I don't know I digress in that, but these are interesting. These are interesting. I don't really read light novels, so don't take my light novel criticism to heart. I will say the reading comprehension for all of these was kind of all over the place. Some of the words, like some of them sometimes would have like really big words, and then and then other times they were just really simple. Like the Water Magician felt really simple, uh, and like they're just different. I don't know. Like it didn't. I don't know. It's I don't know how to describe it. And then going to the manga, the Vermilion Mask. My rating on this one. Let me see. Let me look at the art one more time. The art's interesting. Let me show you guys. It's not really for me. I didn't really like enjoy the story. I thought it was fun. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'd have to see more because this is kind of like a one shot, and I'd have to see like how they set up like a longer story. Like the dude's like hunting down masks or something. I didn't really understand. Uh, as far as like chapter one goes, I wasn't really that into it, and yeah, dealing with the Mikadono sisters is a breeze. This one was great. This one was very clear, very character focused. Uh, there's a lot of characters, but like none of the like side characters really overpower the main characters. And I think that's my issue with this one is like the side. There's so many side characters in this one, is that the main character kind of loses his appeal. Whereas in this one, there's a bunch of side characters, but you can always tell who the main characters are, and so that's really handy. For these two right here, I'm gonna have to say the lady's family, whose kindness was betrayed by the lady's family whose kindness was repaid with betrayal takes revenge. I've read a bunch of like these like revenge isekai manhwa, and it was like or manga as well, and it didn't really stand out to me. This one was kind of whatever. The one helping of sweet love was cute. I could see that one doing well. I'm surprised they didn't put that one on the cover, but I guess the lady's family whose revenge sells. And then Kamuto. I'm gonna be honest. I probably wouldn't keep reading this, but I did like the art, and if it did get in a little bit, because the first chapter here is not very actiony. It's kind of just like I'm a child and I'm growing up, and if it was like more like adventure-y, I'd probably like it. This is more like establishing the character and who he is and where his powers come from, and I'd love to see more chapters of this because I bet it could do some amazing things. The manga one, the Minecraft manga one, never reading that ever again in my life if I can have an option for it. And then the Viz one, I really want to read more of this Rai Rai Rai. That one kind of looked fun. And then I've read a bunch of Ruri Dragon. I highly recommend this one. It's very cute, very like coming of age story for a girl. The other ones, whatever. You could probably just watch the anime for Yaiba. I'd recommend the anime over the manga, to be honest. And again, not a big JoJo fan, so I don't know. But that's going to be it for my review of all of these books. Let me know if you like any of these down in the description below, which ones you are into, if you picked up any of these light novels and manga at Anime Expo. I'm sure there was a lot more manga and light novels at Anime Expo that I didn't pick up. I was talking to a friend, and he's told me that he picked up some other ones too, that I'd also read the manga for them, and I was like, oh, I'm sad I didn't get the book for that, but oh well. But yeah, these were interesting. The light novels were interesting. I don't really read a lot of light novels, so it kind of was gave me something to do while I'm here on vacation, because I'm kind of stuck house sitting at the moment. So it's just like I don't really have much to do other than watch TV, and uh, read, I guess. But that's going to be it for me today. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. I'm going to have regular vlogs after this, so be on the lookout for that. But thanks for watching, guys, and have a good one. Bye bye.